Fotli pabrots.
Fotli pabrots.
Fotli pabrots.
Yeah, that's what it says here.
Fotli pabrots. Okay. And it apparently means what exactly?
Man up and
grow a
grow
pear.
A pear,
So
yeah.
this is the pear, a pair of peppers.
Yeah.
Grow a pair of peppers.
It's a euphemism.
I see. Okay. Why do you know that?
It's because I speak Catalan.
Why do you speak Catalan? How did you come to learn Catalan?
When I was 16, I went to Barcelona on an exchange to learn Spanish. And
Okay.
after seeing that and hearing that people would talk in Catalan amongst themselves, I wanted to enter the conversation.
Right.
So at university, I took courses, and now I'm like a Catalan machine.
Okay, so so you stayed with a family there,
Yes.
and they would have to translate for you.
Yeah, I was with a family in a town called Argentona.
Okay.
And they would speak in Catalan, and I would be at the table being like, Castellano, por favor.
Yeah.
Ugh, I feel like such an asshole saying that now. But,
Right. Well, wait, so why do you feel it? That's actually a great question. So why do you feel like an asshole saying that? Is there something broader about the culture?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I started learning Catalan, I realized that it's more than just a language.
Right.
And I learned the history behind it and that it was suppressed for centuries. And so now, I was there in 2006.
Right.
Saying that just,
It
think of all the history.
Wow, that's really...
the parents themselves they couldn't speak it in public when they were my age.
Right.
So
So it reminds them of that time. That's amazing that any time... Yeah, that they would ban a language, It's like, who cares how I talk to you? It actually is reminiscent of, the more I've learned about this stuff, the more I've seen there are parallels with just really horrible suppression throughout all of history, with people getting their languages suppressed and...
Outside of language, because I just said, it's more than a language. It's a culture, it's a history,
Right.
Imagine if we couldn't be out here talking in English.
Right.
It sounds ridiculous, but...
It's just this, right, so so my understanding is that Catalan was banned from the phone, from meetings for a few years.
From in public. I mean, imagine if you, stubbed your toe, and you're like, mierda, that's not mierda,
Right.
Could be persecuted for it.
Right. Wow, so just hearing what you say about this, kind of these language suppression tactics, are something that really resonates with my history as a black person in the United States. I mean, when my ancestors came to the United States, they spoke West African languages, and they were barred and punished strictly, severely, for speaking these languages, and they were forced to, in many cases, beaten severely and told to speak English, Pidgin English. Now, I mean, it's different examples. Obviously, that's a long time ago, and this is something more modern era, but it's still kind of this...
resonates. There's an attitude behind it all.
Right. There's this just kind of strategy of well, I can use language
as a tool to obliterate a culture, or at least make it into something that control a culture.
Right. Or separate. If I want to separate you from maybe your past, then I force you to speak a certain way.
Well, yeah, it's a matter of expressing yourself and communicating with other people in that culture,
right,
with which you share a history.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So one of the stories that I read an essay by a man named Matthew Tree, who is Catalan, or he lives in Catalonia, and Catalanophile. Thank you. It's a new word I learned. And he tells a story of a young girl who is Catalan, and she goes with her friends, who are also Catalan, to a gallery in Greater Spain, that's outside of Catalonia in Spain, and is told by an old man, threatened by some old man, like, hey, speak Spanish. And she kind of she's taken aback, and he threatens her. This is recently, and he threatens her, and I mean, maybe it seems to her to be a crazy old man. And she goes home and talks to her mom about it, and her mom actually, instead of saying, oh yeah, he's a crazy old man, says, well, you should watch yourself when you travel outside of Catalonia. Now, have you noticed, because that kind of reeks of a bias, I guess, or kind of a kind of an attitude. Have you seen cases of that? Or?
Not really, but I have had some experiences with, like, Spaniards when I would speak in Catalan, and people would be like, why are you speaking that? And I'm like, get off my case. Like, because I want to.
So they're not, they don't like that you would speak Catalan to them?
No, I mean, they think that it's unuseful. Like, why would you want to speak Catalan? Way more people speak Spanish. And it's like, well, you know what? More people speak Catalan than they speak Danish. Like, so why learn Danish? But if you care, and I mean, everybody deserves the right to speak their own language and have their own culture.
Yeah. So we have been telling our stories and
other people's stories.
There's two Americans here in a park. I feel like what would be even more powerful is for the Catalans to tell their own stories. So, guys, post your stories. Send us your stories. This is about you. We want to hear about your journey to independence and your experiences.
Yeah, futeu-li pebrots i envieu-nos les vostres històries.
And now I will try. Forti pebrots!
No, futeu-li.
Futeu-li pebrots!
I envieu-nos
les
vostres històries.
Les vostres històries.
Molt bé.
Molt bé.